evening, and welcome to the Thursday Night Net of the Ozarks Amateur Radio Society. This net we call every Thursday at 8 p.m. on this frequency of 146.460. No PL tone and no offset. My name is Sean, and my call sign is KE0MAD. While this is not an emergency net, if anyone has any emergency traffic at any time, please call break. Does anyone have any emergency traffic, please call now. All right, nothing heard. I'll be moving on with announcements. Let's see here. The gold Simplex net is communicated as far as possible, direct antenna to antenna, testing the effectiveness of our stations without the use of a repeater. I will be using net logger for check-ins on this net, and anyone who wishes to can check in early by monitoring the Oars Simplex net there. This net is now being streamed live on my YouTube channel, Ham Radio with KE0MAD. So if you want to see how you sound on my radio or miss part of the net, you can go to YouTube and just search my call sign, KE0MAD, to find the channel. So we'll begin tonight's net with any announcements of interest to amateur radio. Please call now.
KE6GAE.
All right, KE6GAE, Dave, go ahead.
All right, Sean. Yeah, I just want to remind everybody that a week from Saturday, the first Saturday of the month, which is July 6th, we will be having the Hams Around the Ozark breakfast at the Golden Corral in Springfield off of Glenstone and Primrose. We meet at 8 o'clock in the morning, and we are in the back room. Hope to see everybody there. Back to net control.
All right, and you said that was next Saturday, which would be the 6th at 8 a.m. at the South Golden Corral. Is the North Golden Corral even still open anymore?
No, there's only one Golden Corral left in Springfield. They closed the north side one down. And yeah, that'll be the week from this coming Saturday, which will be July the 6th.
All right. Thanks for the information there, Dave. Yeah, we drove by and I thought I seen the old one, the north one was closed, and I was kind of bummed out because that one used to be the better one. Oh well, that's the way it goes. All right, 7-3. Do we have any more announcements for the club? Or even not the club, just any announcements. All right, how about short time or mobile stations? Please call now. Okay, well, we should have just stayed with you there, Dave. Go ahead there with the regular check-in. KE6GAE in Rogersville, KE0MAD.
All right, Sean, rest of the net, this is KE6GAE. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot for the net tonight. Now that back from St. Joe, I spent the last 4 days up there. Took my wife up there so she could actually babysit for my oldest daughter while she was working. And got to meet my youngest grandbaby, the fifth one, first time in person. Now, not this weekend, but next weekend, hopefully I'll be able to work on the gateway, and we'll be able to get the new gateway installed out there. And then I'm going to start picking somebody's brain and start working on an all-star gateway for the 9-7. Other than that, that's about all we got for the net tonight, Sean. So we'll pass it back to net control. KE6GAE, back to net control. Thanks for running the net.
All right, Dave, no problem. Hey, 5-7, sounding good over here. That's 5-7 to 5-8 is probably about the best you usually get, so band must be pretty decent tonight. All right, 7-3, and we'll move down to KA0SPM, Steve in Springfield.
Good evening, Sean. Making it sound okay.
Yeah, you sure are, 5-4.
All right, good deal. Well, today was abuse. All night abuse. And I did make 101 FTA contacts, so I don't feel too bad about it. And that kind of did me in for the week. It's been a rough one after. But getting back to normal again, and it was fun. Thanks for running the net. I sure appreciate you. And back to you, KA0SPM.
All right, Steve. Yeah, we went over to Mount Vernon there for the field day. It was funny. As soon as all the street lights started coming on, that shut down the radio. It was 20 over noise level, and we shut her down.
Yeah, that's a bummer. We was I guess, nearly out of town in Springfield, and the noise level was good, and I was actually very surprised, and my Hustler vertical just absolutely worked a treat. I even got a European and an Australian contact out of it, so I gotta say I'm gonna stick with that for POTA, I think, when that comes up.
Oh yeah, can't beat a good little mobile vertical there. All right, Steve, thanks for checking in tonight. We do appreciate it, and we'll move down to KF0 and KV. Siri in Galena, well, not in Galena, you're up in Miller. Go ahead, Siri.
Hello, it's good being on the net today. During field day, it was actually pretty fun. It was actually my first field day, and yeah, I am also going back home Sunday, sadly.
Oh, that's a bummer. Well, we had fun. Glad you got to make it to the field day and make some contacts on the radio. First time, I think. Is that right?
Yep, 4 check-ins on the thing, and that was actually really cool.
Oh, yeah. Yep, it was pretty good having you there. I'm glad you were able to make a few contacts on the HF on a contest is basically what it was. So congratulations on that, and thanks for checking in tonight.
You too. Back over to net control.
All right. Is Wes there also?
Hello, Sean, everybody on the net. I think she's still a little wired up about field day. I think that you guys underutilized her, though. You should have set her someplace to park and bark for a while. But I would have liked to have called into her. It would have been kind of cool. But in any case, it was still pretty neat that she got to do that. I'm sure going to miss her when she's gone, though, that's for sure. She's been good company and helped me out a lot around here. So I'm looking forward to when they move back up here. Not too much longer, but probably about a month or so. They'll be moved up here, so I'm looking forward to that. Don't really have anything else for that, so I'll just turn it back over to you, and let's move on down the list. AE0OC, back to net control.
All right, Wes. Well, glad she was able to be there as long as she was to help you out and give you some company there. All right, Wes, 7-3, thanks for checking in. Both you 5'9" plus about 10, so must have the beam pointed at me.
Roger that.
All right, 7-3. We'll move down to KB0RHA, Rich in Mount Vernon. Go ahead, Rich.
Oh, Sean, and everybody on the net, thanks for doing the net. Well, not a whole lot going on. Trying to rebuild a battery pack for my TDR. And naturally, the batteries come from China, and several of them were mismarked, so I had to take it apart and start from scratch, get them all oriented properly. But I guess that's par for the course from junk from China. Anyway, that's about all I've got for the net. 7-3, everybody. Back to net control. KB0RHA.
All right, Rich, 5'9" signal for you, and I know exactly what you mean by junk from China. All right, 7-3 to you, and we're at the bottom of the list. Do we have any further check-ins for the Oars Thursday Night Simplex Net? This is KE0MAD.
KE0LTG.
All right, there's Lawrence, KE0LTG. Go right ahead.
When those street lights come on, did anyone think to check D-Star to see if that was being affected by the street lamps?
Well, it will be affected to a point, but 70 centimeters is generally much less affected by that kind of noise than VHF and down.
Yeah, I didn't know if the digital would make a difference as well. I did, went on the internet. I was having a little bit of problem with one of the game controllers I had, and the company said try a thing called Gamepad Tester. And so I put that on the internet, and it showed the gamepad was working correct, but it was just showing my gamepad had on and off settings to it. So I thought I'd mention that to others out there if they got a question about the buttons or the switches on their gamepad. It can be checked online at Gamepad Tester, but some of them may already have heard about that. I'm usually not too much into games, but I was trying to get the Google Earth Pro to work.
Yeah, well, on as far as D-Star goes, you can't hear any you won't be able to hear any kind of electrical noise. But what it will do is it'll reduce the effective range of the signal because it'll start overpowering the digital signal coming in. So then you just drop the signal sooner.
Yeah, a lot of times those things will amplify and mix each other, the signals, so that would be a factor too. Anyway, I hadn't thought about the street lamps being that much of an effect on it, unless something would be wrong with the street lamps, but you would think the police departments and others would be aware of those conditions. Anyway, I wanted to say 73 to the group. Thanks for doing the net tonight. KE0LTG, clear.
All right, Lawrence. Yeah, what ended up being the main noise was the Commerce building there. They had a lighted sign right on the building right next to us, so it was taking us out pretty bad. All right, Lawrence, 7-3. All right, we're at the bottom of the list. Do we have any further check-ins? Please call now. This is KE0MAD taking one last check-in on the omnidirectional before flipping to the beam. This is KE0MAD looking for check-ins.
K0RWD.
Go ahead there, Ron. KE0RWD.
Well, all it is it's going pretty good. I finally got the 29 in the stuff out in the going on, and I think it's going to stay up pretty good.
Well, that's good, Ron. Glad it's working out for you.
Yeah, I've got a guy up the road that he's really good, and he does it right, and then they just don't start falling apart.
Oh yeah. Well, you having a good week so far, Ron?
I'd try that again.
I was just seeing, are you having a good week so far, staying cool?
Well, the staying cool part is is that, but no, it's really doing good.
All right, well, that's good to hear, Ron. That it got pretty warm early on in the week. All right, well, I'll say 7-3 to you, Ron. Thanks for checking in tonight.
Sounds good. K0RWD.
All right, if there's no other check-ins on the Omni, I'm going to start swinging around from the southeast back around to the southwest. This is KE0AMAD with the Oars Thursday Night Simplex net pointed to the southeast looking for further check-ins.
Paul, KD0EOA in Cape Fear.
There's Paul, KD0EOA in Cape Fear. How you doing, Paul?
Oh, pretty good. Enjoying the weather. It's hasn't been as hot. Let's see, last week I was messing with a 6-meter rigid dipole project. Got that done. It worked. And I was doing it more or less kind of just to see if some materials that I had, some tubing, would work. And it's stainless steel tubing, more like used for, probably pressure gauges, stuff like that. Anyway, I had it up at about 10 feet or so and got it all set and real nice, SWR and everything, and I thought, well, I'll raise it a little bit higher, and it just threw it all off. Well, I got to looking at this little chart I have about target height for dipoles, and I was, the first time I was actually a foot below the target height, which this chart says about 11 feet. And so I got it up to about 15 feet or so and readjusted it. So now I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but anyway, that kind of proved my little hardware stuff that I had on hand.
Oh, yeah, sounds like a nice heavy-duty dipole. What'd you use for the center insulator?
Well, it's just some 3/8-24 mounts, like you would use on a mobile mount. I think, there's probably a few manufacturers that make a mount like this. It's made out of aluminum, and I've seen them like on the internet used with hamstick type things. Guys will set them up, for 10, maybe 20 meters. But anyway, I built a homemade version out of a piece of aluminum stock I had. So interesting little project. So now I'm trying to think of how I can work that into a small beam.
Oh, yeah, I've got something just like exactly what you're talking about on the hamstick thing there. Yeah, those work pretty good. Used it for a couple of Parks on the Air events.
Yeah, that seems pretty reasonable for something like that. I think at your home location you would want to put up a better antenna because those are kind of short, even probably on 10 meter and especially on 15 or 20. But yeah, for something like that's probably a quick, easy way to get on the air and have a dipole.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yep, that works pretty good. Yeah, I've got one right here I'm holding, and man, it worked really good. We took it over to field day, or not field day, I can't remember what park that was, north of Fairview. But we took this thing, and man, it was awesome. Put two 20-meter telescopic whips on it and worked full-length 20-meter dipole. Worked good.
Oh, okay. Well, that's pretty good. Did you have any problems raising it with the weight and all that stuff?
No, I was using my 12-meter mast, and we only used the top, or we used the bottom, 2/3, so it was up probably 25, 30 foot off the ground, and it was plenty rigid.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. Yeah, that's another thing I was kind of messing with was the weight of this, because it's the stainless steel tubing. It's not real thick walled, but still it's heavier than like a ham stick or say a whip, and it's kind of heavy, but not horrible.
Yeah, they work good. Well, I'm glad you got to play with making an antenna. I like doing that. Always fun stuff. All right, Paul, we appreciate you checking in tonight, and hopefully you can stay cool. I think I'm going to try and head to the lake tomorrow. I may end up in your neck of the woods.
Well, it's probably going to be kind of busy. I know next weekend will be real busy. I think that's the real holiday weekend. But so, yeah, you don't want to come down next weekend.
No, this weekend it'll be pretty dead because everybody will be holding they'll be saving all their vacation and their play money for next weekend. So this weekend should be pretty good. All
right. Well, thanks for running the net. Nice chatting. And Yeah, if you come down on the lake, be safe and hope to hear from you next week.
All right, Paul, 7-3. All right, we're going to move this thing on up towards Springfield, maybe a little south of Springfield. All right, this is KE0AMAD with the Oars Thursday Night Simplex Net. Sorry for being so long-winded, but we were talking about antennas, and that's always fun. All right, I'm pointed towards between Ozarks and Springfield, looking for further check-ins. Please call now. All right, nothing heard. We moved this thing right on up to the center of Springfield, looking for further check-ins. Please call now. All right, one last call while we're pointed at Springfield, then we'll move to the north.
KD0AFB, James in Aurora.
All right, we got KD0AFB, James, right here in Aurora. Definitely didn't need a beam to make that contact. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Got out of the shower and feel a little bit better than I did an hour ago.
I'll bet. Yeah, I'm sure where you work, you don't sweat at all.
No, I don't. I barely sweat a drop.
All right. Well, thanks for checking in, James. Good to hear from you. And, well, we'll catch you on down the log.
Sounds good. KD0AFB, monitoring.
All right, still pointed at Springfield. This is KE0MAD with the Oars Thursday Night Simplex Net. Do we have any more check-ins before we go north? All right, we're pointed to the north and west just a little bit, up towards Stockton, looking for further check-ins for the Oars Thursday Night Simplex Net. This is KE0MAD. All right, nothing heard. We'll give it one last try, then we'll rotate to the south. All right, pointing towards Carthage, Joplin direction. This is KE0MAD with yours Thursday Night Simplex Net, looking for further check-ins. Please call now. All right, pointed to the southwest, down towards Tulsa direction, looking for further check-ins for the Oars Thursday Night Simplex Net. Okay, nothing heard back on the omnidirectional for any last-minute check-ins or any final comments for the net. This is KE0MAD.
Hey, Zero, see a question.
Yeah, go ahead, Wes.
I was just wondering if Paul was still running horizontal, or did he get a vertical antenna?
He's horizontal.
Well, especially the first two transmissions there, I was getting almost every word he said, and was getting bits and pieces now for the rest of the way through. That's pretty amazing at that distance, being on different, horizontal up to vertical.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, if he was vertical, he'd be, roughly 20 or so dB stronger. And, of course, that kind of changes a little bit depending on terrain and stuff. But, yeah, just think how the signal would be with the same polarization.
Yeah, I was kind of amazed about it. But, he's broke my squelch before, but this time he was pretty readable. A lot of static, but I could read what he was saying the first two transmissions especially. No, that's all I was curious about. And I'll let you get on with closing it out. A0OC, back to you.
All right, Wes. Yeah, before I figured out he was horizontal, I used to talk to him vertical. And, you know, he was like a 2 to 3 at best. And one day he was talking, I just I just flipped it over to horizontal. I was like, oh my gosh, he's an S7.
Yeah, I wish I had a horizontal to see how it went that way. Maybe someday you'll get a vertical well.
Oh, yeah. All right, Wes, 7-3. Do we have any more check-ins or comments? This is KE0MAD. All right, nothing heard. We had 10 check-ins, including myself. I'll bet some of us are watching the presidential debate. We'll just call it that. All right, 7-3, and I'll let the frequency, and that's it. Let the frequency go back to normal average use. It's not a repeater. Anyway, KE0MAD, 7-3, everybody.